Hello, everyone. This is Linda Drummond with Network in Action, and today I have the privilege of speaking to Allie Mills. Hi, Allie. How are you?
Hi, Linda. I'm great. Thank you very much.
Great, Allie. Let's begin by telling everyone your company name and what it is that you do.
So, yes, my company name is the Allie Mills Group, and I am a realtor under the Windermere umbrella.
Wonderful. Now, Allie, how did you get into the real estate business?
Almost by accident. So it's a second career for me. I have spent 25 years prior to going into real estate, working in marketing and PR communications and always on the agency side. And in 2015, I was feeling a little bit burnt out from that, wanted to do something different. Didn't quite know what I wanted to do, and this is God's honest truth. I was in an exercise class, and I had this epiphany of I'm going to be a realtor. And so then it was, had to apply the logic of like, okay, well, why and what skills do I have that would make me a good realtor? And just did some analysis, and it felt as if it boiled down to two things, which was customer service and project management. And having worked on the agency side when I was the bridge between the client and the creative team, it was basically that's what I've done for 25 years. So then decided to make the move into real estate, and that was back in 2015. So I've been in the
Mm,
business now for a decade.
That's fabulous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Allie, having been in the business for a decade, I know you've got numerous success stories, but would you mind sharing one with us?
Yes, I've got one that I want to share, and the reason why I've selected this one is I went into this business, and what I'm passionate about is about building relationships, connecting people, helping people, um, and making the process of either buying or selling a house an enjoyable one and more than just a transaction, right? This is a very big milestone in anyone's lives, whether it's a $400,000 condo or a $4 million home. It's the biggest financial transaction that anyone is ever doing, chances are, right? Unless they're a seasoned investor and then they're a pro, and that's a whole different kettle of fish. But so I connected with one particular client, and we closed on their house just earlier this month. And I connected with him at an open house almost about 18 months ago. He came in, he was looking at the house that what my listing that I was holding open. We had a very brief conversation, but it wasn't really anything outstanding. We didn't sit and chat for 20 minutes. And I reached back out to them a couple of months later and just said, hey, just curious how your home buying journey is going. Have you found somewhere? I'm here here to be a resource if you're still looking. And he emailed back, said, well, actually, we did buy somewhere. And this was probably in December. So I met him in about May or June, and this was in December. He said, we did buy somewhere a few months ago, but we think we've got to sell. I was like, okay, and that's not words I want to hear from anybody, right? Because real estate is a very good way to build your personal net worth, but you have to hold the property for a certain amount of time. And selling after 6 months is not going to make you any money whatsoever, even in a escalating market, but just because of the costs and the fees. And it turned out that he was working with another agent and felt very pressured into making the decisions that they made. And from day one, really felt as if they'd buyer's remorse from day one. This is the wrong house for us. It's the wrong neighborhood. But they weren't counseled on how they could have safely got out of the contract without losing anything. So fast forward to 6 months later, they're in this house that they weren't happy. I met with them. It's like, okay, I can certainly help you sell your house. We will do what I call, damage limitation, right? At that point, the market had turned and it wasn't in their favor. It had become a slightly softer market, and they were going to lose money by the time they'd factored in all their fees. But we're very transparent about that. They understood that. That was more important to them, and getting them into the right place was more important to them than trying to make a profit. So sold their home up in Woodinville in I'm going to say July time. I can't remember the exact dates, and then help them buy somewhere. And they were very nervous, right? Very nervous buyers, because they felt super pressured before. But I worked with them very closely, showed them a lot of homes, really helped them understand what they were looking for and why they were looking for it, versus, hey, this house meets your needs, let's go see it, let's write a contract. And it took them a couple of months, but we toured a lot of homes, a lot of new construction sites, and they'd gone into short-term accommodation because they'd closed on another home, and they eventually closed on that new one in September. So really, I spent a lot of time with them helping understand what they wanted from a home, which meant helping them understand what they didn't want from a home, right? Why did they not like the home they were in, and that they wanted to sell, and finding out where their comfort factors were, everything from location to schools, helping them prioritize, because they were a little bit all over the place in terms of location, and really help drill down on those priorities. And they are now happily in their brand new construction townhome that is very low maintenance and exactly what they should have bought all along, and not a 1970s split level home in Woodinville with a yard.
Oh my goodness. What a great success story is. Congratulations on that. And helping overcome their fears, because that was a big portion, I'm sure. All right, so this will lead me to ask you, what kind of clients are you looking for? What kind of referrals would you like to see?
The best clients for me, and I'll specify, I'm in this business to help people. So I will welcome a conversation with anybody that is looking for any assistance in buying or selling a home. That said, more by accident versus design, my clients mainly fall into one of two categories, and that's either a first-time home buyer, and that could be someone who's in their mid-30s, they've got a couple of kids, they've been renting, now's the time to buy it, or a first-time home in the Seattle East Side area, right? Maybe they've been in Seattle and they've been in a condo, and now it's time for them to get what they call their first big grown-up home, right? They've been married for a couple of years, they've got one kid, they would need more space, really making those bigger grown-up decisions of, okay, schools, location, it's no longer just about us. So that's a really good referral to me, because they probably, buying a house is a very different process, even if they bought a condo or a townhome before, and a very different entity that they're taking on, right? A lot more maintenance, etc. The second person that makes a really good referral for me is an empty nester, or someone who's been in their house for 30 years. Perhaps they're downsizing to a condo, perhaps they're moving out of state, to be now closer to their adult children. Perhaps they're moving into their sort of assisted living, their final home that they plan to be in for, the rest of their lives until they get put somewhere else. So it's really one of those two clients, either the first time buyers or the empty nesters who have, not bought or sold a house in 30 years. I'm very hands-on with my clients. I am very protective over them as well. And so I really want to guide them through the process. It can be very overwhelming for a lot of people. And so I like to be there every step of the way to give them the resources and the tools to make it as stress-free as possible.
All right, that's awesome. Now, Allie, when you are not doing all of this and making buying and selling easy for your clients, what do you like to do for fun?
Well, I'm married, and like my husband, so like to spend a lot of time with him. And between us, we've got, now 3 kids at home. One's just gone off to college and the other one's already grown and flown. But obviously spending time with them is important to me. We've got a house down in Scottsdale, and we've got a second house up in Lake Osoyoos, in which is sort of North Washington, Central Washington. Getting to either of those places, I want to follow the sun. So getting to either of those places is really where my happy place is. And outside of that, it's running and keeping fit and hanging out with friends and enjoying a good glass of wine.
I love that.
Simple
That
things
does
in
sound like
life.
All right. Well, finally, Allie, if someone is ready to start looking for a new place or to get rid of their old place, or they know someone, what is the best method for people to reach out for you?
The best way for people to give me an introduction is through a three-way email. And that is, my email address is Ali Mills, that's ALIMILLS @windermere.com, WINDERMERE.com. There's lots of R's and E's in that. Otherwise, feel free to call or text me on 425-753-1810.
Great. Allie, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you and getting to know what you do. I wish you the best of luck and welcome to Network in Action.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and I'm excited to be joining this group.
Great. Well, you have a fantastic afternoon.
Thank you.